on at the moment, so I'm entertained by that as well. But no, it's great to see. As soon as the pre-seasons kick in, you're getting ready for the season again.
A confident United team as well, that's for sure. Well, it is United's third game in United's pre-season tour of Asia. Time to hand you over to our commentary team in Malaysia, Paddy Crown. But first of all, Stuart Gardner.
Hello and welcome to the World Cup Stadium in Seoul. There's a real sense of occasion building up for this third game of United's Asia Tour. A sellout crowd of around 60,000, a magnificent atmosphere building here under the lights. We've had laser beams and pyrotechnics, and it's quite a sight really. So far, of course, 2 wins in Malaysia, but now a step up in class against the best team in Korea. I think, Paddy, tonight this will be a different game altogether.
Well, I think it'll be a different game totally, because this team's played, what, 16 matches so far, so they'll be at their best fitness-wise. We aren't. That's the big difference. So you can probably will not finish with the team we start with. But as I say, when you're getting fit for the start of the season, Stuart, you always want to play a team that's a little bit fitter than you, and it makes you that little bit better and makes the game much more competitive. So all this is a build-up to the first game of the season. I think they're going to have a difficult match tonight. You
can see there, not a seat to be had in this most magnificent of arenas, built specifically for the 2002 World Cup. Now, of course, it is FC Seoul's home ground, but as ever when United are in town, there's an awful lot of United fans in here.
Oh, there is. At the back of the goal there, it's like a Stretford end, isn't it? It's at the back of Old Trafford. But as I say, everybody, I mean, United, the second time they've ever been here in their life, United, they've got fantastic reception the last time we were here, and it's not a great deal different today. But the score like the last time was 4-0. I'm not so sure it'll be that this year. I think it's going to be a much more difficult match.
Yes, 2 years ago United came here, as Paddy said, they won 4-0, but by all accounts FC Seoul have improved since then, and that's shown from the league. They're top of the K-League. Teams are in the tunnel.
That's what I'm just saying, Stuart. Look at that, it's like a Stretford end.
And in Kuala Lumpur, of course, in the National Stadium, we have the athletics track going around the outside, but this is a proper football ground.
Right, so you're right on top of the players practically, which makes it, gives a bit more atmosphere, a bit more expectancy from the fans and the players. I think it's going to be a tough game for United, but the one good thing about it, there's not a great deal of humidity here. It's been warm and all right, but not the humidity that there was in Malaysia.
Here come the teams. Deafening noise from 60,000 people all around the World Cup Stadium. And United, as you see, playing in white tonight. And the one man that everyone here has come to see, Ji-sung Park, is on the bench for United, and, well, he's a legend here.
Well, the crowd at home will realise that when he does come on. I'm sure he'll come on at some stage, and you hear the reception he gets.
Well, I was at a sort of charity event with Ji-sung Park yesterday. I don't think I've ever seen so many camera crews in one place in my entire life. He was absolutely mobbed. He is an idol here. He's the biggest sporting idol in this country. As we go through the process of meeting the dignitaries, the Mayor of Seoul is down there, Chief Executive of Kumo Tires as well. We are playing for a trophy, the Kumo Tires Cup, which is on display down there on the touchline. As Ryan Giggs just introduces players to the Mayor of Seoul, who was also at that event we were at yesterday down by the Han River with Ji-sung Park. This occasion,
would you believe,
it's captured the imagination of the people here, though, hasn't it?
But would you want me to tell you something? You know what the favourite sport in Korea is?
Baseball.
Correct. How'd you guess that?
Well,
it's crazy that when you look at this and you think baseball's even bigger.
No, that is true. But I think football captured the imagination of the public in 2002 when it got to the semi-final here and lost here to Germany in the semi-final. Gus Hiddink performing all sorts of miracles.
Can you imagine what it must have been like here, the semi-final of the World Cup, South Korea? I remember watching it on television, but can you imagine being here?
Extraordinary. As Paddy touched on earlier, conditions are much more in United's favour than they were down in Kuala Lumpur, where even in the evening it was incredibly humid, very hot, stuffy and uncomfortable to play football in. But it's been a hot day here, but it's quite a breezy evening, and I'd say that's suitable for United. Just going through the official photo call. There's a man who's a massive favourite in Korea as well, Wayne Rooney, who is mobbed wherever he goes.
You're not meaning David Gill? Wayne.
And another sort of idol here is Patrice Evra, because he's one of Ji-sung Park's best mates, and so therefore Patrice Evra, everyone knows him here. They love him here. Now, in theory, we were supposed to kick off at 8:05 local time, 5 past midday back at home, but we've had so many dignitaries to meet and so many photographs to take.
Well, I believe there's 4 of them going to kick off. There are the 4 balls on the pitch. There's 4 of them going to start the game.
Yeah. Which did happen actually a couple of years ago here. Up go the cheers as the United players sprint into their positions. Sure, some people don't quite know who to support, because there are a lot of FC Seoul fans here as well, but Manchester United are so big in Korea, it's extraordinary. Millions of fans they've got in this country. Everywhere you go, there are fans chasing United. We arrived at the airport a couple of days ago, screaming fans. At the hotel, screaming fans. Wherever you go in the hotel, every time you get in a lift, there are fans in there on the lookout for a player or two.
Yeah. No wonder sometimes the players are secreted away somewhere out the way. It's much more difficult today probably than it was in my time.
Well, it's a sight to behold, really, the interest in United. You missed the news a little bit earlier on. Gary Neville's gone home because he's got a slight groin injury, which is probably going to take 10 days or so to sort out. Here is the ceremonial kickoff. Bobby down there having a belt. I think at least 3 of those balls we're now going to have to lose, because one will do. FC Seoul only played actually a couple of days ago in the Peace Cup here in Korea, and they're in the midst of what has been so far a very successful season. Top of the table. Finally, all of the dignitaries are just about off the field now. And we're almost underway. So Alex, his picture appears on the big screen, and he gets enormous applause. Doesn't get that at Anfield.
No.
But here in the World Cup Stadium he does, and United are going to get us underway. Our referee is from Korea, Mr. Choi Yong. Interesting to see Makeda and Rooney up front. Makeda, of course, who scored in the last game. And Ryan Giggs will be in just behind them. United playing 4-3-1-2 for this 3rd game of the Asia Tour, but of course we'll see many, many substitutions as the game progresses. Away we go then. Off go the fireworks. Paddy almost has a heart attack live on air, right at the start of the game.
God, I just withheld my language there for a second. God, that was frightening.
Well, Sir Alex thinks this game is going to be the toughest test of the Asia Tour. And certainly there is some atmosphere in this World Cup Stadium. United huge in Korea, with Ji-sung Park, of course, the biggest sports star in this country. I think that shocked everybody, those 2 massive firework displays at either end of the ground. It certainly shocked Paddy. It's just about coming down to earth now. Rooney moving up the left-hand side, but that's well cut out.
Yeah, by Mr. Park, but not our Mr. Park.
No, Park Yong-ho, that was who cut that out. Anderson, Carrick, who missed the first game of the tour with a slight knock, but he's okay. Wes Brown. And goes O'Shea. You see all the smoke from the fireworks drifting over there. (4-0) it was 2 years ago. Ronaldo scored here, Chris Eagles scored here, Rooney and Evra on the score sheet. Lee Jong-min now going down the right for Seoul, but Evra got the touch, and now here comes Wayne Rooney. Great cheers and applause for Wayne Rooney, who finds John O'Shea. Now Carrick. Giggs looking for Makeda. Cut out though by Park Yong-ho again. Now Rooney. Lost his balance there.
Yeah, just lost his balance. A few defenders around him.
It's Brazilian fullback Adilson, who's known as one of the best defenders in this Korean league. It's hard to measure the standard of the Korean league, but FC Seoul are top of it. And Korea have already qualified for the World Cup. Ji-sung Park is the captain of his country. Kim Jin-kyu is looking for Kim Seung-yong, but flag is up for offside. Who has been, well, he's just off there. He's been charged with the responsibility of filling in for Lee Chung-yong, who's just gone to Bolton in the last week or so, who played on that right-hand side of midfield.
Well, that's where Rooney just miscontrolled the ball there in front of goal.
Evra to Wes Brown. Good to see Wes Brown having a full pre-season after his injury-ravaged campaign last year. Now Giggs lurking just behind the strikers and just played it behind Kiko Makeda, and it's back to Kim Ho-jun, the goalkeeper. Now Lee Jong-min. Evra. Dejan Damjanovic, the Montenegrin international. Got a big physical presence up front. Now Giggs. Good work. Finds Makeda. Rooney's in the centre.
I think he'll take him on. Nope. Oh!
Giggs misses his kick. Here's Fletcher. Giggs. Looking lively in these early stages here in the World Cup Stadium. Anderson. Rooney. Evra. Slight breakdown in communication there. Wes Brown just hands off Dejan. Ferdinand. Anderson. That's the hurry.
Yeah, when you hurry, you make a mess of it.
United leave for China tomorrow for the final game of the Asia Tour. Is Dejan. Tricks his way through, but maybe tried to do too much in the end, and Lee Sung-yul was waiting his strike partner. Now Giggs. Fletcher's away. Makeda's made a run. Fletcher's held up by Adilson. Ryan Giggs. Michael Carrick. Rooney. Back to Giggs. Giggs tries to trick his way through. Ryan Giggs. It's going to break for Anderson here.
Good defending. Good defending. The defender just got a touch to it to take it away from Ryan Giggs. Watch this important touch here. Full back comes in and just snicks it away. Or he was in there for a goal, I'm sure.
Carrick for United, dominating possession in these early stages. I guess you'd expect that. Oh, Evra's not quite tall enough for that. You may well have seen on MUTV Patrice Evra interviewing Ji-sung Park yesterday.
Yeah, that was the manager of Seoul we just seen. That's the swinger from Ryan. Right one's not as good as his left one, and he totally misses it.
Anderson, good skill. Carrick looking for Makeda. Up goes Evra again. We beat Kim Seung-yong to that. Sir Alex in relaxed mode. I think he's been pretty happy with what he's seen so far. 3-2 and a 2-0 win in Kuala Lumpur, but I think he wants him to step it up for this game.
That'll happen. That'll happen.
Brown to Ferdinand. Now Anderson. Awkward one that for Evra. Dealt with by Kim Seung-yong. Evra did score in that game here a couple of years ago. Anderson is robbed, but he's strong, Anderson.
Yeah, just giving away a foul. A tough little fella.
Had a disappointing end to last season, Anderson, of course, including going off at half-time in that Champions League final. Just Thomas Cusack, who's it's his first start of the tour. He has had a half of football, but I spoke to Thomas and he's very, very keen to play some more football this season, as I'm sure Ben Foster is. Ferdinand. Fletcher. Looking for Rooney. Carrick's onto it. John O'Shea has made a terrific run from fullback. Fletcher didn't control it properly. Keeps possession. Does well, Fletcher. A few oohs and ahs from the crowd, they like that. It's a bit of a heavy touch from Dejan there.
Oh, there's a bit of space down the left-hand side.
There goes Ko Myong Yin. Corner kick to FC Seoul.
Yeah, he does a lot of work like that. Michael Carrick never gets a mention. Good defending by him.
Corner kick to the home side.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He does a lot of that, Michael Carrick, and doesn't really get noticed for doing it, and it's important work.
Well, United have got everyone back for this corner. In it comes towards the near post. Oh, good one, flicked on. And over the top for the goal kick.
That's hit a United player and gone for a corner.
Well, Kim Chi-gon was just coming in there.
Yeah,
didn't get a touch.
Nobody gets a touch except...
Yeah, Ferdinand gets it over, but Kim Chi-gon just behind him coming in. Needed to get the touch there.
Yeah, he didn't.
Corner kick. Kim Sung-yong is going to take it. This time Rooney's left upfield. Free header there for him. Oh, headed away by Ferdinand. And drilled goalwards, and Thomas Cusack makes a decent enough save there.
Oh, that's a good save, because that's come through a crowd of players.
It was Ko Myong-jin. Struck it well.
Yeah, it comes through a crowd of players. He mustn't be able to see this till the last seconds, Thomas. Look at the number of players it goes past. Yeah, but he's kept his eye on the ball. That is a good save, that.
Good clean strike.
Yeah.
And there are a couple of FC Seoul players waiting for the rebound. If Cusack had let the ball away from his body, but he didn't. Now Carrick. Looking for the run of Makeda. Oh, it's well dealt with by Park Young-ho. Free kick given. Foul by Fletcher. I don't think he agrees with that, to say the least. Darren Fletcher.
No, it was the heavy touch. Yeah, it's a heavy touch by Cohen. He gets a free kick out of nothing.
The goals haven't flowed for United in the tour. I mean, 3-2 and 2-0 against relatively weak opposition. But tonight, big step up in terms of the opposition. We're not too sure what to expect in China when United play Hangzhou Greentown next on Sunday. But I think this is the best team they're going to face in the Asia Tour. Lee Jong-min gets the ball back. Dangerous one in as well. John O'Shea must have got a call there from Fletcher. He seemed to leave it.
Yes, he did leave it.
Rooney. Oh, lovely turn.
Oh, over the top might have been better.
Adilson. Is he going to hit one here, the Brazilian? Plays it wide. Just trying to work an opening here, FC Seoul. And there's Ferdinand. Back heels it away, but it's not clear. Damjanovic wants it played to the far post. Ferdinand clears. Up goes Fletcher. And again, now there's a break on. Rooney and Makeda are ahead of him. Anderson in support as well. Wayne Rooney. Such a threat coming off the left wing. Rooney lines up for shots.
Yeah, that's what you expect him to do. But he just gets underneath it. And over the bar it goes. Yeah, we know how dangerous he is when he comes inside, but it's not one of his better ones.
Did score here a couple of years ago in that 4-0 Wayne Rooney, and of course scored the opening goal of the tour in Kuala Lumpur. Rooney again. always available, always looking for the ball. Tried to play in Anderson, got too much on it. Şenol Güneş, the Turkish coach of FC Seoul, the man who led Turkey to 3rd place in the World Cup in 2002 in Japan and Korea, of course. Kim Sung-yong plays it to Ko Myung-jin, the man who had that effort that was well saved by Cusack. Fletcher, Wayne Rooney. Gasps and oohs and ahs and whenever Wayne Rooney has the ball. Giggs finds Michael Carrick. Carrick looking for Rooney, just too much on that though, and easy enough for Kim to deal with.
Yeah, that's a ball he's probably not played for about since the end of the season.
Ji-sung Park's face has appeared on the big screen, and it's like the Beatles have walked in. You get the feeling he's a little bit embarrassed shy of all the attention he gets. It's played to Kim Sung-yong. Want to come inside on his left foot. Damjanovic back to Lee Jong-min. Dealt with easily by John O'Shea. And now Makeda. Big, powerful presence, the teenager. And he hustles and harries Park Yong-ho out for the throw. The event that Ji-sung Park was at yesterday, he was also there with the biggest pop star in Korea called Rain. 2 massive stars, and I can tell you, Ji-sung Park was the only one they were interested in. I don't think Rain liked it. Now Anderson. Makeda. Does well to find Anderson. Giggs. Wins the
just
free
tugged
kick.
up. Ryan.
Oh, he was strong there, Giggs, because he was being buffeted a bit. Now Makeda. He'll try and turn, but...
Oh, he's unlucky. He nearly come off.
Oh, Kim did well there. Now Lee Jong-min. Kim Sung-yong. Almost played in Lee there.
Well, he had to win that. Rio Ferdinand, and he did.
Patrice Evra. Rooney's on the left wing. Makeda's inside. Ryan Giggs. These conditions tonight so much more comfortable for United. Nowhere near as humid as in Malaysia as Giggs finds Rooney. Oh, Giggs was almost through there. It looked like handball. United were appealing for handball.
I think he got it with his shoulder.
Giggs again. Rooney, United probing here, knocking at the door. Almost found Fletcher. Adilson came here after doing well in Chinese football, but that's not his best pass from the Brazilian.
No, a totally missed kick.
Been around a bit, Adilson. He's played in Spain for Betis and Seville, and Red Star Belgrade he's played for, and he's ended up here at FC Seoul. Good contest though in the early stages.
Yes, it is.
Bit tight for Giggs, so Lee Jong-min brings it clear. Behind Damjanovic. And for the throw to FC Seoul. Makeda, who must pinch himself every time he thinks what's happened to him in the last year. Playing a pre-season friendly for the reserves against Altrincham a year ago, and here he is now, starting a game the Far East Tour. Fletcher had a hint of handball about it. Rooney, Anderson, John O'Shea, Fletcher. Back to Rio Ferdinand, support from Wes Brown.
Well, they're making it difficult, so because every time United get the ball, there's about 10 of them back. Well, including the goalkeeper, of course, but they're all back defending.
Evra, well forward. Patrice Evra, little nutmeg there. Park Yong-ho plays it back to the goalkeeper, Kim. Brown. Almost full for Lee Sung-yul there. Couldn't control it properly. Back to Kim again. There he is again. Every time you want to scream, just have a look at Ji-sung Park. Dejan Damjanovic Holds it up well. Goes for goal as well. And that's a second save that Kusak's had to make of the night.
Yeah, good save as well from Thomas. Is it full stretch to save it?
Even Sir Alex is getting cheers from the big screen there. There he goes.
It's a good strike from Deschamps. Good save, Thomas.
Maybe he didn't strike it quite as cleanly as he wanted to, but he had to hold on to it, Thomas Cusack. That's 2 efforts on goal for the home side. I wonder if we might get an appearance on the big screen, Paddy. What would happen then?
I don't think so.
Anderson. Giggs is chopped down there. Kim Han-yoon is the defensive midfielder just in front of the back four, taking no prisoners.
Yeah, it's a wild challenge. As I say, there's that many of them back. You look at them now. There's only Deschamps that's up front.
O'Shea's ball in.
Oh, dear me.
Didn't quite fall for Anderson.
Did it hit him in the hand? The linesman didn't seem to think so, or the referee for that matter.
Oh, it's good play from Wes Brown. Had Damjanovic bearing down on him. Back to Cusack, who, well, he's probably been the busy keeper, really. He's had 2 saves to make.
Yeah, 2 good saves.
From Dejan and from Ko. Now Rooney. So strong, Wayne Rooney, but maybe a bit too strong there.
Yeah. Little push.
He doesn't do friendlies, does he?
No, it's always serious. So here's a little push. Yeah, down you go.
We were here in training yesterday, and Wayne Rooney, there's one challenge on Kiko Makeda, which was strong to say the least. Wayne Rooney trains the way he plays, no messing. Brown. Do you think the United fans here are more intense than anywhere else, or would you say Malaysia or China? I mean, they're pretty
they're
intense.
Wherever you go, Stuart. Intense.
Giggs. Kiko Makeda.
Look at the number that's back. Look at the number of players that are back. Everybody except Deschamps. Got to be patient.
Anderson played it behind Fletcher there.
Did well to keep it in.
Top of the K-League, 10 wins, 3 draws, 3 defeats for FC Seoul. Makeda. Anderson is looking for Rooney. As well dealt with by Park Yong-ho. But now Carrick. Can he unlock the door here? He finds Evra. He can't find a white shirt. Damjanovic. That's a good ball to Kim Sung-yong.
Good touch by Wes Brown. Good touch by Wes.
Out for the throw.
Yeah, it's a good challenge here by Wes. Just gets a foot to it.
That's trademark Wes Brown, really, isn't he? He loves a tackle, Wes Brown. Damjanovic again, who looks quite lively to me up front, the big battering ram centre forward. Fletcher made a lot of ground and he finds Wayne Rooney. Rooney takes on Park. Where's he going to go, Wayne Rooney?
That's out. Another couple of weeks they wouldn't have caught him. And it gets the crowd excited. As I'm saying, this touch a little bit heavy, but another couple of weeks they need to get that across the box.
Park Yong-ho did his job there, the defender. Of course, there truly will be a major step up in class when United return to Munich after the game in China on Sunday. Those games in Munich in the Audi Cup, Boca Juniors, and then either Bayern Munich or AC Milan. Now that is a step up, and of course you'll see all of those games live and exclusive on MUTV, as you'd expect. And then suddenly we're back and the season's virtually upon us. Another friendly at Old Trafford against Valencia, and that's the Community Shield, and away we go. Dejan does really well there.
So does Ferdinand.
Dejan is back again.
Good play by Dejan. Good defending by Rio Ferdinand.
Nice link-up play there between Dejan and his strike partner Lee Sung-yul. midway point of this first half. And you can already see that this side certainly offer more threat than the Malaysia 11 that we saw. Anderson, oh, he almost threaded it through to Kiko Makeda. Really important challenge from Kim. Now Ko finds Lee Sung-yul. Lee Sung-yul, good ball in, Evra cleared.
Well, they've had to do a bit defending United, haven't they?
Absolutely. Giggs, Rooney, Carrick, Anderson. Carrick, Rooney, back to Anderson. And in the end he finds Makeda. Michael Carrick. Giggs.
He'll try to put it through his legs, Ryan. Never come off.
It's a really good ball towards Ki Sung-yong, but Patrice Evra was alert to the danger. And looking a threat now. Ki Sung-yong again, looking for Dejan! FC Seoul take the lead. Dejan Damjanovic. FC Seoul 1, United 0.
Well, it's a great ball in from Lee. And I'm not too sure about the two central defenders. They kept looking at each other. Would one of them go for it? None of them made a move. And Deschamps get in between them, and thank you very much. Well, we'll see this ball. Look at the two defenders. They're leaving it for one another. Nope. Great ball in all of a sudden, you've got to say, Stuart. The goalie, no chance.
Well, that's got the crowd going now.
Well, we thought this would be a difficult game for United, and it's turning out that way.
So the Montenegrin, Dejan Damjanovic, strikes. We mentioned that he looked a bit dangerous. He looked to Anvil. Good centre-forward goal. I'm sure Sir Alex was quite as impressed with it. It was a great ball in, but it did bisect the two centre-backs.
Yeah. When you're the defenders, you've got to make a decision. You've got to go for it. Because if you don't get it, somebody will put it in the net, and that's what's happened.
More screams because Ji-sung Park's on the big screen. A terrific ball in from Kim Sung-yong from this right-hand side, and Dejan was there. Oh, man, like a man possessed, Dejan. Adilson. Bit of a shot that, Paddy. Didn't expect to go behind, did you?
No, but they've played well, actually.
Yep. Adilson. Oh, bit of a soft foul there. John O'Shea penalised. Oh, he's giving it the other way, actually.
No, the linesman gave a free kick, and the referee's given the throw into United. Great ball on this. That's a terrific ball. I mean, you've got to give the lad that put the ball on a bit of credit. Bisects the two central defenders.
Not much Thomas Cusack could do.
Nope, nothing they could do about it.
So now we've got a game on our hands. Seoul lead United by 1-0. Here's the goal scorer, Dejan Damjanovic. Plays in the fullback, Lee Jong-min. The man who crossed the ball, Kim Sung-yong. Back to Lee again. Went down rather cheaply there. Anderson clears. Kim Jin-kyu is after it. Back to Kim Ho-jun, the goalkeeper. Adilson. What you can bet on is that even though this is a friendly, Sir Alex Ferguson will not want to lose this game.
No, without question. Well, the players won't either for that.
Fletcher. Now Ryan Giggs. Kiko Makeda. Good skill.
Oh, he's overhit it. He done everything right except the final ball.
Too far in front of John O'Shea. So the wind gets up a little bit now inside the World Cup Stadium. We are 8 hours ahead of you here in Seoul. So Evra just guides that back to Thomas Cusack. Ki Sung-young's after him. Wes Brown, got to be careful. Therese Evra. Maybe this is the sort of test United need as well after
Of course it is.
the games we saw in Malaysia. Now Michael Carrick. Wayne Rooney. Anderson. Anderson, I think, wanted Evra to make up a bit more ground than that. Good ball into Makeda! Good save. That's the closest United have come so far. Kim had to make a save. Makeda coming close.
Well, the angle's too much. You wouldn't expect the goal to let it in from there, Stuart. Very, very tight angle. Rooney in the middle looking for it. But it has the shot, why not? Yep. Goalie blocks it well.
Wins the corner, Giggs. Oh, it's a deep one. Wes Brown was coming in. Hooked away. It's pretty fair to say that is the closest United have come in the half. That shot from Makeda. Bear in mind, Thomas Cusack had to make a couple of saves before that goal. Fletcher. Therese Evra now. Michael Carrick. John O'Shea. Rooney fouled by Adilson there, but the referee didn't think there was any sort of infringement. And now the break's on with Kim Sung-young. Damjanovic is in the centre. Here he is. Anderson with a crucial touch. Look dangerous when they break forward.
Yeah, they're quick on the break. That's what the problem is. When they do, they're very quick. Yeah. He's never played this past the defenders this time. He played it in front of them.
Rooney penalised.
It's control of his hand.
FC Seoul have had a few different incarnations in their short history. Only formed in 1983. They've been called Lucky Gold Star and a few other names before they were actually called FC Seoul. Only in 2004 they changed the name to FC Seoul, and of course they moved into this stadium, the World Cup Stadium. Brown pumps it forward. Adilson and Rooney. Rooney, good control, but it hit the back of Adilson's heel, I think.
Oh, he's unlucky there, Wayne.
For the throw, reached the half-an-hour mark. I think we're going to see Ji-sung Park about every 5 minutes on the big screen. Anderson, Giggs. Makeda. Second chance maybe from Makeda here. Just so many bodies around there. Anderson wins it back unfairly.
Yeah, he thinks he was fouled just prior to that. A little bit of revenge.
Kim Sung-young. Damjanovic is after this. Brown goes up, wins the header. And that's going to go back to Thomas Cusack. Carrick for United. John O'Shea. Now Anderson. Can United create an opening or two before the interval? Giggs. Spots O'Shea. 3 to aim at in the centre. In it comes, up goes Wayne Rooney! 1-1. Wayne Rooney's on the mark again. Terrific header, guided into the corner. United 1, FC Seoul 1.
Well, it's a good bit of football by United. The space being created by John himself running down that flank. And the cross is a good one. Yeah, the cross is a good one. Only just getting a little bit of a yard on his marker. Yeah, that's a good header. Yeah, just goes over the defender. Kim. Yeah, good ball in from John. Just misses the defender, but doesn't miss Wayne Rooney.
Is there a bit of shoulder in that as well? I think
Yeah,
there might be.
sure, it doesn't matter, it's in the back of the net.
It's his second goal of the tour, Wayne Rooney. He's certainly been the most dangerous force for United so far in this game. So United back on level terms.
Oh, there was an important touch again for Patrice Evra.
Kim Han-yoon's header forward, almost finding Lee. Well, they got 3 goals in the tour 2 years ago. Got 2 so
He
far.
won't care, Stuart, if this is off his elbow or his shoulder or whatever. Well, not his elbow, of course, but it's off his shoulder. It's finished up in the back of the net.
Michael Owen gets a big ovation.
Yeah. Incredible.
Oh, we'll see him at some point in this game, no doubt about that. He's already got 2 goals in his tour. We haven't seen Rooney and Owen play together actually on this tour. I'm not sure we will do in this second half. I'm sure Berbatov will be on as well. Now O'Shea, who set up that goal with a terrific cross. Anderson. Patrice Evra. Still going. Flicked through by Carrick. He was looking for Rooney.
Just too tight in there, too many defenders.
Well, I've been quite impressed with FC Seoul in this half. 1-1. Cusack finds Patrice Evra. Anderson. That's a good ball. Good control by Fletcher as well. Adilson cut that out. Lee Jong-min. Anderson tracking back. Lee Jong-min goes for
He's
the
got
1-2.
pace. He's got pace, but so is Patrice Evra.
Yeah, he's not got as much pace as the Frenchman.
Yeah.
He'll be happy. Senor Gunez, I would have thought. Coach of FC Seoul. So Lee Jong-min with the throw-in. It's a terrific run. West Brown's got to be careful here. Fine effort.
Yeah, Patrice Evra had to be careful as well. If they'd caught the foul, it might have been a penalty.
Well, Lee Sung-young with an effort that Cusack had to be watchful.
Yeah, watch this. He swings his foot up and Patrice Evra but doesn't catch him. Yeah, he's under pressure from Wes Brown as well. Yeah, it's down the throat of Thomas Cusack.
Adilson. There's no doubt about it. FC Seoul have had the better of it in terms of efforts on target. Adilson again. Now Carrick. Finds Anderson. Giggs going through the middle, but
asking too much. I'm not so sure was up for Ryan or Wayne Rooney.
no, too much on that for Ryan Giggs, captaining United in this game. Evra goes up with Ki Sung-young. Lee Jong-min, the right fullback for Seoul, to Seoul's goal scorer, Dejan. Miscontrolled it really. Giggs just floats away from a couple of passes. I think he got caught there as well, but he finds Makeda with a great ball. Now Makeda has got support from Rooney.
Oh, Michael Carrick's made a great run. And he's bypassed Michael Carrick to try and find Rooney, and it's got cut out.
Cut out by Adilson. And now Kim Sung-young, but
just overhit it.
game maybe just a bit stretched now. Brown. Evra to Giggs. What's into no man's land. And dealt with quite easily by Kim Jin-kyu. Lee Jong-min. Looking for Dejan again.
Well read, Rio Ferdinand.
Finds Wes Brown. Evra, got to be quick here. Brown. Looking for Rooney. Well, Makeda could be in here. Park Yong-ho couldn't afford to make a mistake. Now Ferdinand. Carrick, Giggs, Ryan Giggs. Bit slack. Dejan. Lee Jong-min. To Lee. Evra with a foul on Lee Sung-yul there. G again, just to get the crowd going. Good ball in, a little back flick by Kim Sung-young, but didn't really get hold of it properly, and easy enough for Cusack. It's looked quite dangerous.
Yeah, there are always good balls in, the early ones in. Sometimes you'll catch defenders. He doesn't really get enough contact with that.
Couldn't get it past Rio Ferdinand. Fletcher. Not a good ball. Adilson is there. Well read by Ferdinand, but then he commits a foul. How would you sum up United overall in this first half?
I think it's been quite a good game, Stuart, overall. And they've got a test down there, United, which I'm sure the manager will be pleased about.
Well, it's all about fitness, really, at this stage. And it is a good test. Kim Sung-yul, Evra too strong for him. He stayed down, Kim Sung-young.
Not so sure why.
So got some strapping there anyway, but on comes the golf buggy.
Yeah, that's a lot of strapping. That looks enough for somebody shouldn't be on the pitch, rather.
Yeah, I think he's twisted his knee a little bit as he went there. It seemed to cave in underneath him.
Yeah.
Could have been a nasty one with Kim Sung-young. Mike Phelan passing out instructions, and the United coaching staff passing out the water as well, because even though it's not that humid here, it's still pretty hot, hotter than you play at home, to say the least. So Kim Sung-young has gone off. There's Wayne Rooney's header or shoulder. And super slow-mo.
Gives the goalkeeper no chance.
Well, he's okay, I think, to continue.
I'm not so sure.
Yeah, he thought he was getting up for a minute there. Kim Sung-young still off the field. So down to 10 men at the moment. Park Yong-ho plays it back to the goalkeeper, Kim. I think the signal's just come to the bench, actually, that Kim Sung-young is not going to be able to continue. Now Anderson. Carrick to Giggs. Ryan Giggs. Can he open up this Seoul defence? Not a good ball by Carrick. Gone underneath it. Dejan. Plays in Lee Jong-min. Knocking the ball around quite well here.
Yeah, it's good play by them.
Dejan's gone through the middle. He wants it played into him. Here he is. Dejan against Wes Brown. Dejan still going. Well blocked by Wes Brown.
Good defender by Wes. I mean, what can you do when Dejan's trying to take you on inside your own penalty area? You can't touch him. But he doesn't have to. He does the important thing. He blocks the ball. And it's a good ball on again. You see Wes. Yeah, there's a situation of how do I get out of this, because if he tackles him, he might give away a penalty. But
at the other end, United attacking. Giggs' effort, not enough on it, really. Kim collected. A bit of end-to-end action there. Anderson wins it back. Fairly, says the referee. Makeda. Thought about the shot, then tried to play in
Tried
Rooney.
to squeeze it through to win, it was too tight.
Didn't quite work that. Ko Myong-jin now. Damjanovic. Good ball to Lee. Dejan. It's a little bit loose from Kim Han-yoon. I think for the throw. This was the effort from Giggs. Well, it would have been the effort from Giggs if we'd shown it. We don't obviously have any control over the pictures. They're from the host broadcasters. That's why they keep showing Park. Dejan. Oh dear. Got a bit excited. Montenegrin there. Well, it's going to be a substitution here because of the problem faced by Kim Sung-yong. This is the Giggs effort, which he curled at the goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper on top.
An Sung-young is on then for FC Seoul. First touch for An Sung-hyun. Lee Jong-min. An Sung-hyun was after it this afternoon, but Thomas Cusack read that very well indeed.
Well, he had to be off his goal line smartly, hadn't he?
Closing stages of what has been, I think, quite an engaging first half. 1-1. Rooney. Now Giggs. Oh, it's inches away from claiming Makeda, who applauded the through ball, but it was cut out. And now Dejan. It's a throw. Put himself about a bit, isn't he? Dejan?
Yeah, but you're not going to get time in the ball as much as he thinks.
Last minute of this first half. Lee Jong-min with the throw. Dejan. Not a bad effort, that. Straight though at Thomas Cusack.
Yeah, it'd be much more awkward if it had bounced just in front of Thomas.
Yep, if you got a bit more loop on it, that could have been a problem.
Yeah, hits it early enough, but the goalie's alert.
Giggs. Carrick. We're playing 2 minutes of stoppage time. We're into it now. Giggs, nice ball, the outside of his foot to Carrick. Makeda and Rooney, targets in the centre. Looks for Fletcher.
Well, the idea was right. The idea was right by Darden, but the touch wasn't good enough.
Yeah, John O'Shea had made the run. What will he make of things, do you think, in his first
I'd be quite pleased because it's been a task for them, hasn't it? It's not been easy. Faster game than any of the two they've played so far.
Certainly. Dejan went up, won the header. Wes Brown. A little bit awkward for Cusack, a few ums and ahs, but he's okay. Back to Wes Brown. Second half, of course, as the second half continues, we'll see plenty of changes from both teams. Anderson.
That's a good ball.
Finds Evra. Evra. Did well to follow him, Lee Jong-min, the fullback.
Sun Jun done well to get a block on that.
Dejan. Can't lose it there. Wes Brown's after him. Two strong men. Adilson. Oh, that's a good ball. Seoul playing themselves out of trouble. Kim Han-yoon. Ferdinand is there. Anderson.
Yeah, just did a little bit too much.
Oh, good stuff from the home team. Ko. Dejan. Dejan for 2-1. Fabulous goal.
No, he's offside, Stuart.
Goals given.
Yeah, the goal's given, but he's offside.
Dejan Damjanovic, his second, FC Seoul second. Can you believe this? FC Seoul 2, United 1.
I think the through balls is offside, but right in front of the linesman, but he didn't put his flag up. He's offside there, surely. Yeah, no flag from the linesman.
Cool finish.
Yeah, good finish. Yeah, Rio Ferdinand protesting that it was offside. I thought so as well.
And that was the last kick of the half. Half-time, Dejan has scored twice for FC Seoul. He gave them the lead after Kim's cross on the right-hand side. Wayne Rooney equalised with that header from John O'Shea's cross. And then last kick of the half, Dejan Damjanovic with a delicious chip. Suspicions of offside not given. So at the interval here, FC Seoul 2, Manchester United 1.
Thanks very much, Stuart. And as Stuart says, United being beaten at half-time. We'll be back to analyse that first half, though. Gary Pallister joining me in the studio for that analysis after this short break.
We asked you what you thought of MUTV's programmes, and we got a great response. We really appreciate your views, so keep them coming. Send us an email at any time to opinion@manunited.co.uk. That's opinion@manunited.co.uk.
United take on La Liga side Valencia in a pre-season friendly, and tickets are now on general sale. To book your seat at Old Trafford, simply log on to manunited.com/tickets. You can also call 0161 868 8000 and press option 1. For this game, all junior tickets are just £5.
Ronaldo. James thought about coming. Ronaldo's too quick for him. Cristiano Ronaldo is unstoppable.
Welcome back to the Asia Tour live and exclusive here on MUTV, where at half-time FC Seoul are beating Manchester United 2-1. Interesting first half, that's for sure. Well, Gary Pallister joins me in the studio to go through the analysis of that first half, and we didn't expect that, did we?
Well, we knew it was going to be a tougher test because the manager said it was going to be, and we know they're top of their league, and they've played some good football. It's been a good game. I think United have looked pretty sharp, but equally so of Seoul, and they've scored two terrific goals. Dejan's been a thorn in the side all through that first half, and he's come up with two quality finishes, and we know we're in for a tough test second half.
Yeah, indeed we do, and this is where the manager, as we've seen in the first two games, certainly makes changes around about the hour mark, and we probably expect that today, so some fresh legs might do United good.
Well, yeah, I mean, as you said, with the heat out there, I think he's always going to make changes. He wants to give players time on the pitch, but he'll be smarting a little bit in there at the moment. He doesn't want to go over there and be embarrassed and his team to be beat, so he'll be having a few words in there. I don't think he'll be a hairdryer, but I think he'll be asking the lads to pick. I think they've performed okay. I mean, the general fitness looks good. The sharpness looks pretty decent. I think, in terms of shots on goal, probably not what he's looking for. We've had 2 or 3 attempts, but yeah, you've got to pay credit to FC Seoul. I think it's a huge game for them because they're playing such a high-profile team, and they've played a huge part in a very entertaining first half.
Well, they did take the lead, that's for sure. We'll take a look back at the highlights of that first half, starting with the goal, and
I mean, we're looking at the two centre halves there, Wes and is it? No, I think is it Wes and John O'Shea there. I'm not sure whether it's Wes and Rio or, but it's a great ball in from the lad, and it's a good finish by Dejan. As I say, he's been a thorn in the side all day. You think you're pretty comfortable as centre halves, but it's about the quality of the ball. Put into a great position with the keeper doesn't know where to come for it. The defenders are maybe looking at the goalkeeper as well. Just a pinpoint accurate cross, and you know, he just guides it in with the outside of his peg. Great finish.
Great finish. Shame about the start for United, because we hope to see a United goal first off. But they started brightly, and I think the thing is, when teams like this play against United, you know they're going to be well up for scoring against them.
Well, of course they are. I mean, as I say, it's a high-profile game, and you know, United are looking at, they're playing one of the best teams in the world, so they want to raise the game and they prove that they can, live on the same football pitch as the United players, and they've done that in the first half. The effort's been terrific. They've also produced some good football, and a couple of times they've opened United up. So. Full credit to them.
United did get that equaliser though, and it was Wayne Rooney who came up with that one.
Well, we thought it was a great header at first, didn't we? But it's a great shoulder, as we see from the ball in. It's again, it's a terrific cross in from John O'Shea, and you think it's headed in at first from Wayne, but it's come mainly off his shoulder, and it's been guided into the net. But again, it's a terrific ball in. It makes the goal really. The ball in from John O'Shea makes it a little bit easier for Wayne, and he gets a little bit lucky, obviously, with it coming off his shoulder. But yeah, good play by United.
I think the thing is, for Wayne Rooney, the second goal of pre-season, and it doesn't matter who you're playing against, to get off to a good start in pre-season is what it's all about.
Well, it breeds confidence, and that's why we talked about Michael Owen getting off to a fast start with 2 goals in 2 games. The eyes of the world, certainly the Premier League, are on him at the moment to see how he's going to react and whether he's still got that ability to score goals. If he hadn't scored on the tour, all of a sudden that would have been an issue. But he's banged 2 in. I know people will now say it was against lesser opposition, but you score goals, it breeds confidence, and that's what Wayne's got, and that's what Michael's certainly going to get from playing with his new club.
We thought when they had equalised that might be it. We might see a few more goals from United, but it was FC Seoul that scored again just before half-time.
Again, Patrice has slept in a little bit there. Whether he's offside or not, I'm not quite so sure. I know Paddy thinks he maybe is. It's touch and go, so you've got to play to the whistle. Failing that, still a great finish from Dejan. Kuszak's tried to read him, slotting it in down low to his either side, and he's just dinked it over the top. And a very classy, cool finish from the lad, and he's been very impressive in this first half.
Yaya scored against United in the first game, and we had fans phoning up saying that we should sign him up. So perhaps we're going to get fans phoning today saying we should sign Dejan.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're looking at players all the time. I mean, I don't know the history of this lad Dejan, where he's come from. I know he's from Montenegro, but he's not looked out of place against obviously, as I say, one of the finest clubs in the world, and he's impressed. He's been a thorn in the side. And you marry that up with some of the hard work the rest of the players put in. He's the imagination of the team, and he's had a terrific first 45 minutes.
He has. Let's hope he doesn't have a good second 45. One other player that's had a good first 45 is Makeda, who started off this move. Take a look at this, and United have had their chances in the game, but it's just not always come off, has it, Gary?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, as I said before, he's eager to impress, and in bits tonight he's looked sharp. I mean, that's a good ball across for Giggsy, and on his weaker foot, on his right foot, that he won't be pleased with the effort of that. Misses it completely. It just comes off his knee, I think. But a good pick out from Makeda to see Giggsy arriving in a box like that.
We'll take a look. There's another chance that Giggsy had. He does slightly better with this one as well. But important that we're seeing all these chances, because as much as the manager says it's about fitness, you've got to be creating opportunities as well.
Yeah, I mean, your fitness and your sharpness, this is what he wants to look for. I mean, that's, he's unlucky not to get it through in the first time. I think he's going to run into that and then maybe have a clear shot at goal, but good defending by Seoul. And he's playing in that position, Giggsy, just maybe off the front too, where he's getting plenty of freedom. And somebody of the quality of Ryan, when you give him space, he can punish you.
We can take a look at another chance now, which came for South Korea. Rio deflects it over the crossbar, and they have had their chances as well. We mustn't.
Yeah, I mean, it has been entertaining. Both sides have created things, and that's I think he's pretty relieved that it hasn't went in the back of his own net. There, it's just a reaction to something that's dropped you in the box. You stick out a foot, and you're never quite sure where it's going to go. I mean, that could quite easily have went into his own net, and as I say, that's just a reaction. It's would have been unfortunate if it went in, but he'd have been mighty relieved it didn't, because it's always embarrassing when that happens.
The goalkeepers have been changed about, obviously, in this pre-season. Kuszak started in goal today and was called into action, had to make a few saves today. Yeah,
he's pulled off a couple of decent saves. That's good reactions. That's come through a crowd of players. He's solid. He hasn't beat it away. He's managed to keep hold of the ball, because if you're knocking that down, there's maybe players in and around the box there can get in the end of things. They see at the last minute the player just ducks out of the way, so he doesn't really get a good view of it. And yeah, it's a good save from Kushak.
He'll be more happy than Ben Foster was.
Well, yeah, I mean, Ben will be smarting from that the other day. I mean, he'd be desperate to get back out, play again, and put that to rights, because you know, it's, you know, as Edwin was in the first game, embarrassed by that shot from way outside the box. I'm sure Ben was equally embarrassed by what went wrong the other day when he tried to control the ball and he let it slip from his control and the score from it. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you're trying. Kushak's trying to get one up on Ben and try to prove that he should be next in line for the job. And it's great that you've got competition for places.
Be interesting to see how that situation pans out over the course of the season. So we'll have another look at another chance there from Wayne Rooney here, who fires this one over. He won't be happy with this one, will he?
No.
I wondered why it was taking you so long to...
No, yeah. I couldn't remember which one that was. Because it's instantly forgettable, isn't it? And you know, I think you take potluck from a kind of distance. You know, you've got to get a really sweet strike on it, and it opened up for me. Got a yard to have a crack, and yeah, he'd be disappointed that he didn't keep his knee over the ball, as they tell you when you're a coach, to keep the ball down. He's leaning back and ultimately puts it into Rowe's head. So yeah, it's not one he'll remember.
It certainly isn't. We'll hopefully see more from Wayne Rooney in that second half. But Kushak was called into action once again in the 18th minute. Another chance for FC Seoul.
Yeah, I think. I mean, he's not struck it great, but I think it's possibly just creeping in at the far post, and that's Dejan again, isn't it? And yeah, he's got to get his full stretch. And the great thing about it there is he's not palming it around the post. He's managing to keep control of the ball, so he's not knocking it away from a corner and giving him another opportunity. He's good safe hands with the two saves that we've seen there from Kushak.
One of the earlier chances that we saw was from Makeda, and he's done pretty well. He's and had another chance for himself this time after 27 minutes. Yeah,
fits and starts. I think there's times his final ball has been lacking. I think I mean, that's a great run off the back of a defender, decent strike, and you know, the keeper would have been embarrassed if he'd have been beaten by that one. It's not, you know, it's not going across him. It's a pretty straightforward save for him, but good movement from Makeda to get him behind the defence, and as I say, he gets a decent strike on it as well, probably with his weaker foot.
All about learning though, isn't it, and getting opportunities?
It is a young man, trying to make his way in the game, playing at a very high profile club, pressure on him. They say kids don't feel it at that age, but I'm sure when you've got a manager like Alex Ferguson in the dressing room, you feel the pressure, and he knows he's got to perform, because he's made a bit of a reputation for himself now, so he's got to live up to it now. So every time he goes out there, he's got to keep performing. As I say, if you don't, you find yourself on the bench or not in the squad. I mean, that's the way United is now at the moment, with the size of the squad and the quality they've got in there. That you've got to keep producing the performances.
The manager says he's going to check Makeda's birth certificate because he doesn't believe he's 17. Another chance for Kushak to save in this one from FC Seoul once again. And when you look back at the chances in the first half, they had quite a few.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, they wanted to prove they can live with the likes of United, and that's good play by the lad, and straightforward save from Kushak, but makes himself that half a yard and gets the shot off, decent strike, and yeah, they've all through the game. I mean, it's been a very open game. Obviously, there's not a lot at stake. It's just a prestigious game. It's a friendly, so both teams want to go out and entertain and make it an affair that everybody wants, that is going to appreciate seeing. So you know, it's you attack, we attack, you attack, we attack at this moment, and it's great for the fans to see this kind of flair on show.
You'd expect to see changes in that second half, wouldn't you? Because partly because of the heat, which you were talking about earlier, how that's got a big impact, and also the manager's got a 22-man squad out there. It's important to get minutes under your belt. It's not important at this stage to play a full game, is it?
No, of course, it's all about fitness and giving players minutes on the pitch and getting that sharpness that only match football can bring you. So you know, expect to see maybe 2 or 3 changes at half time, and then as we go through the game, he'll make more and more. And yeah, that's what it's all about. It's just, you know, you can do all your running, all your pre-season work, but it's at this stage of the season now, in your build-up, it's match practice that you need and the sharpness that brings.
Well, it is just one of a number of pre-season games that we've got here for you on MUTV. After they play FC Seoul, they're off to China, where they play Hangzhou Greentown. That's live and exclusive from the Dragon Stadium, and the build-up starts at 12:30 on Sunday. Okay, time now for us to take a short break. We'll be back after this, but at the moment it's 2-1 to FC Seoul.
For Ronaldo inside the area, onto his right foot. Ryan Giggs with a landmark goal, his 100th league goal for Manchester United.
We asked you what you thought of MUTV's programmes, and we got a great response. We really appreciate your views, so keep them coming. Send us an email at any time to opinion@manunited.co.uk. That's opinion@manunited.co.uk.
Good ball in, Rooney! Goal! Wayne Rooney, he just loves playing Newcastle.
Welcome back to the Asia Tour, live and exclusive here on MUTV. United trailing at half-time, but let's hand you back for the second half to our commentary team of Paddy Crown, but first, Stuart Gardner.
And welcome back to Seoul with the news that United are out and they've made a couple of changes at half-time. Thomas Cusack has made way, Edwin van der Sar in goal, and Darren Gibson is on to replace Darren Fletcher. We're still waiting for FC Seoul. United out very early. You don't think the manager's given them a rocket, do you?
No. But what they're going to do, FC Seoul, just to annoy you, is they're going to make about 6 changes. They're going to come out. We're not going to know who the hell they are.
That's part of the glory of pre-season,
Oh
Paddy.
dear me, here they come.
Substitutions and changes. They did have to make a change, of course, when Ki Sung-yong picked up what looked like a knee injury and had to go off. So Oh Kyung-jun came on.
Well, there's one sub there anyway, Stuart, number 3.
Well, there's going to be at least one change.
Number 3 for number 28.
Yep, 3 is on.
Go on then, tell me his name.
Tae Yun An.
Sorry?
Tae Yun An is on for Lee Sung-yeol. And as you see there, confirmation, Edwin van der Sar is on, who played just 145 minutes in Kuala Lumpur. So he's on now. 15 also coming on, Ko Yo-han. Place of 22, Kim Chi-gong. So a couple of changes there. Got a game on here though, Paddy, with United going behind right on the stroke of half-time.
Stuart, it's been a good match actually. I'm sure the people at home are enjoying it as well. They might not be enjoying the score, but it's a good test for United.
Well, this is the competitive test that United wanted. We're not too sure what Hangzhou Greentown are going to provide. They're sort of halfway down, lower part of the Chinese league. But FC Seoul, best team in Korea, and they've shown why. Certainly with Dejan up front as well, they've got somebody who's a bit of a handful. Dejan has just made the field now, so he's the last man onto the field. Referee just counting the players. What has happened in Kuala Lumpur, usually you've got to about an hour and then the manager tends to make wholesale changes. But United will certainly want to maintain this unbeaten Asian tour, beating Malaysia 11-3-2 and 2-0. There's Dejan again, showing his skills.
Well, he's done the damage, hasn't he? With the 2 goals.
Well, FC Seoul are going to kick us off. And off go fireworks again, and poor old Paddy. Poor old Paddy has jumped out of his seat.
What is going on?
Oh, fireworks going off, smoke everywhere, and all we did is kick off the second half. Here's Gibson, first touch for the Irish international. Wayne Rooney, John O'Shea, Gibson. Oh, that's a good ball in towards Giggs, and flicked away. Anderson coming in. Lively start to this second half for United. Anderson, Evra, Ryan Giggs hit his shoulder really in and just smashed away.
Yeah, there's good clearance from Park for that cross.
Rooney's in here. Oh, it's good defending from Adilson. Corner kick to United in the first minute of this second half.
Yeah, two good bits of defending. First Park and then Adilson.
United corner. Lots of United banners behind that goal they're attacking. And John O'Shea's forward for this corner. Wes Brown and Ferdinand as well, but the goalkeeper, Kim Ho-jun, is there. Immediately plays it forward. He's looking for Oh Kyung-jun, the first substitute of the first half. But, Van der Sar had it, and now United can clear. Here's Gibson, fresh from signing a new contract for United. Back to Van der Sar. Ferdinand O'Shea. Van der Sar. That's over the head of Carrick and out for the throw. That's our first look at G in the second half.
There'll be plenty of those, I'm sure.
Just make a note of the time. 46 minutes, 50 seconds. We'll make a note of the next one, how long it goes before we see his face again.
Oh, when he comes on the pitch, God almighty.
Well, he will come on, I'm pretty sure of that. Obviously, he hasn't taken part in United's pre-season so far. Evra colliding with Oh Kyung-jun.
Yeah, mix up, but they get a free kick from it.
As the smoke just clears. Free kick, FC Seoul. Look out for Damjanovic. Adilson's in there as well. And it's easy enough for Van der Sar. Watch out, he's behind you. Not the best of kicks.
Yeah, he was looking to throw it to someone.
Ko Yo-han, half-time substitute. Kim Jong-kyu. Evra's there. An Tae-yun. Spreading play well here. FC Seoul. Jung still going.
Oh, dear Lord.
A great challenge by Gibson, but the referee said it's okay. Gibson, Makeda's after this. Adilson has to be careful.
A little bit quick, the full-back, isn't he?
The Brazilian magic from Adilson. And away by Kim. Giggs, lovely ball to Rooney, but Kim read it.
That was overhit. Very difficult to judge the pace in a short area.
Well, there have been a lot of sort of nearly things for United. Final ball, little through balls, not quite coming off. John O'Shea. Carrick. Anderson.
That's careless.
It was easily cut out by Park Yong-ho. So Anderson wins it back.
Oh, he's off by a mile.
Yep, Wayne Rooney, I think he knew he was off. Smashes it into the crowd. Frustration for Wayne Rooney.
Oh, that gives the crowd a little bit of a thrill.
No doubt about this. Well offside.
Oh, he's well offside. At the same end in the first half. Mandy Shan was offside, but it wasn't given.
Ferdinand to Wayne Rooney. Dejan again. It's a real threat in this situation. He's looking for the hat-trick, remember, Dejan? Tried to do too much there.
He's in. You're in, Wayne.
Rooney against Adilson. Rooney's there first. He needs support here, and Adilson does his job. looks quite adept. Adilson at left fullback, Brazilian.
You know, you're thinking if it had been, oh, I take just a little bit greedy here by Deschamps. Wayne's just a little bit unlucky. Maybe a couple of weeks into the pre-season training, he'd been all right there.
Jung, who also must have sneaked on at half-time, takes the throw. Number 30, Jung Da-Hwan. It really is carnage when the subs start coming on. Just see Paddy's sheet of paper.
Yeah.
Names and numbers all over it. None of them legible.
No, I'm trying to put numbers along with names.
Well, we started off with 5 Kims in the starting lineup, so if you throw in a Kim, you might be somewhere near it. Dealt with by Young. Just trying to find Ko Myong-jin, but couldn't keep it in. O'Shea. Ferdinand for United. Now Anderson. Not too much on that. Wayne Rooney is not happy with that distribution at all. Michael Owen again.
Great reception as well, Michael Owen, doesn't he? Looks embarrassed by it.
Well, he will be on at some point, I'm sure of that. Here's Woo Kyung-jun. Out for the throw. It's just going to fall to Jung. United can come away with it. Here's Wayne Rooney. Not too many options, actually, so he has to go back to Carrick. Ferdinand, first to it, shakes off Dejan. Also gets away from Kim Han-yoon. Oh, he's close to playing in Makedo. He's made the run. Now, FC Seoul, this is a really good run. Tried to do too much there because Ooh on the left-hand side was free. Game just a wee bit stretched as United then bring it forward. Makeda, Giggs. Sure, there will be a few tired legs out there in this United side. Shea. Makeda. Carrick. Darren Gibson. Evra.
You weren't off, Ryan. He wasn't offside. He thought he was.
Michael Owen just warming up. Berbatov's warming up. Fabio's warming up. Enthusiasm for these United players here is remarkable. Every time they appear on the big screen, place goes mad. Kim with the goal kick, on his best effort. Evra. Brown. Ferdinand. United trailing 2-1.
He's miskicked that real.
Dealt with by Jung. Adilson. Two Brazilians together, Anderson and Adilson. And he went down quite easily there, Adilson, but free kick's given.
Yeah, hardly touches him. And down he goes.
Wow, what would you make that? 5 minutes since we last saw Ji-sung Park? Van der Sar clears. Dejan with the flick on. Ferdinand had to make it. Just about get away with that United. Brown back to Van der Sar. Just beginning his 5th season at United. You may remember he made his debut here in the tour in 2005. Here in Asia. Rooney. Dilson came across.
Try to thread a needle there. Win.
Anderson. Darren Gibson. Well, you know he can shoot from range. He got hold of that, but was blocked. Out for the throw. Gibson, who remember the last Premier League game of last season at Hull, scored with an absolute screamer from that sort of distance. Carrick, now Anderson. Just tried to thread one through, but
too many players in there. Have to come a bit wider.
Here's Ahn Tae-yun. Spread wide to Ko Myung-jin. Dejan. He wants his hat-trick, Dejan. Sliced wide.
Yeah.
I'll be thinking to himself, how often do you get a chance to score a hat-trick against United?
Yeah, against Manchester. Not very often, but not with shots like that anyway.
Frustrated with himself, but you can understand why he had a pop. Oh dear, that's Evra playing it out of play. And we're going to see substitution here. Coming on, Kim Chi-woo is coming on. Ko Yo-han is coming off. Kim Chi-woo it does play out on the left wing. I think there's some confusion down there with who's coming off and what's happening. Kim Chi-woo is definitely coming on, we know that. A Korean international. And because of the confusion with numbers and who's doing what, no time for the substitution. We ran out of time for the substitution. Ferdinand. Therese Evra. Anderson. Giggs is going through the middle. Keepers Kim Ho-jun collected. Now here's Jung. Kim Chi-woo's gone back to sit down again. So much chaos over that substitution. Jung.
Oh, Theo Mills went down dramatically there, hasn't he? He's in.
Rooney to Makeda. Great ball. Makeda's through here. What's the finish like? Round the keeper. Brilliant. Kiko Makeda, boy wonder, has done it again. The through ball from Rooney was perfect. He had a lot to do, and he was equal to the task. 2-2.
Well, no wonder the manager's got so much faith in him. Quite happy to take someone on as well, which is the goalkeeper. Yeah, it's a great ball from Rooney. Just more or less like their first goal, dissected both central defenders. And he ain't going to miss.
Well, he had a bit to do, didn't he?
Yeah. Confidence for you. This is confidence for you. Yeah, I know you're there. I know where the goal is. Thank you very much.
Second goal of the tour for the emerging star from Italy.
Could be pleased with that.
Changes galore now. Ko Myung-jin has gone off. And Dejan is going off as well. I'm sure he's not thrilled with that. Coming on is Jung Jo-guk and Kim Chi-woo. At last, Kim Chi-woo is allowed on. He's the man who got the winner when South Korea played North Korea in a World Cup qualifier. Now that is a local derby with intent. So Dejan Damjanovic has done his prospects no harm at all. Now United are going to bring on 4 new players. Michael Owen, Berbatov, Nani, Scholes, are all going to be on in a minute. And I think Paddy and I might have predicted this in the first game when it was 2-2 and Michael Owen came on. Paddy said he's going to get the winner.
Yeah.
He did.
I think he'll get a goal anyway. Oh,
Anderson's taken out late there. Referee's in. Doesn't look impressed with that, does he? But Ahn Tae-yun a little bit late. Now here are the changes then for United. Let's see who's coming off. Well, Ryan Giggs is certainly coming off. Paul Scholes will replace him. So we had about an hour or so. Giggs applauds the crowd. Now Dimitar Berbatov is the only one of United strikers not to score so far on the tour. And he's on for Wayne Rooney. Here comes Makeda as well. And Anderson. Michael Owen and Nani stand on the touchline. So we still haven't seen Rooney and Owen play together. Michael Owen getting tremendous cheers from this crowd here.
He is.
And Michael Owen, 2 goals in 2 games. Bets please on him getting another. So this will freshen up the United side. Paul Scholes to John O'Shea. Not much Gibson could do with that, really. Kim Chi-woo, who will stay on that left-hand side. I think they're rather desperate for Ji-sung Park to come on as well, you know. Brown to Everett. Well, it's hysteria here because Ji-sung Park has got up off the bench and he's just warming up. It's absolute hysteria here. Berbatov. Gibson asking a lot of Berbatov that. Oh, Berbatov won it. Oh, he's taken out. It's a wild challenge there from Kim Jin-kyu.
Well, I think he was just upset that he'd lost the ball there, and he was in a dangerous position, Berbatov. I mean, he's in a dangerous position here, Berbatov, and he thinks, oh, well, I'm not letting you pass me.
There's G.
What if Ji-sung Park comes on and scores?
No one will know what to do, will they? The Nani also came on then with this free kick. Berbatov and Brown and Ferdinand are all in there. Not the best delivery and could be headed away by Park Yong-ho.
Yeah, he got in front of Michael Owen to header that for the corner.
Owen. No, I didn't realise he was so popular in the Far East, but I love him here. Nani again. Headed out as far as Scholes. Scholes does well. Gibson.
I'm not so sure Paul wanted it.
Scholes. A few oohs and ahs at that crossfield ball from Paul Scholes. 2-2, good game. Ferdinand to Berbatov. Carrick, Berbatov, nice ball. Michael Owen, Carrick's inside him. He looks for Michael Carrick. Oh, Carrick almost got there.
Just a fraction ahead of him.
Kim to the rescue. Michael Carrick, who got one of the key goals of last season, that late winner at Wigan. When got that, you thought titles in the bag. Ko Yo-ho. Looking for Jung Jo-guk, who's the striker who's replaced Dejan. Good ball, Kim Chi-woo now. Jung. Kim Chi-woo. Could be dangerous, but just too much on that.
I think it's going out and come in.
It's my first visit.
It's amazing in actual fact. The FC Seoul guy, nobody opens their mouth when he comes on. The manager.
Look at this finish.
That's the goal, yeah. Good ball from Wayne Rooney. That's what I'm saying. The manager of their team comes on and nobody says a word.
Lovely ball by Scholes, but Nani couldn't keep it in. Just saying, Paddy, it's my first visit to Seoul, and you don't realise how massive this city is. It's absolutely huge. See, more than 10 million people. Owen couldn't trick his way through. And he wins it back.
Given a free kick against Patrice Everett. Oh no, he's not. Play on.
Scholes. Darren Gibson. O'Shea, what a good ball to Gibson. Adilson's with him. Gibson just shrugs him off. Berbatov! 3-2. Berbatov's first goal of the tour. It was a great cross from Darren Gibson. Berbatov did the rest, and United have come from behind. It's Seoul 2, United 3.
I was just going to say there that United are now in charge of the game. We've got control of it, and then we get the goal. I mean, the strength to shrug off the full-back from Darren Gibson, but the cross is perfection itself. And it's a terrific header, that. That is a terrific header. You see the angle he's aimed for, that bottom corner. That's a terrific goal, that. It just holds the Nielsen off. And the chip in, and thank you very much. And I don't think that's the last goal for tonight either.
And he just shrugged his shoulders and walked back to the halfway line as though nothing had happened. He does make football look very, very easy, Dimitar Berbatov. Young Joe Goot going through the middle. Calm from Ferdinand. That's a bit better than United. 2-1 down at half-time, 3-2 up.
They're in control of the game now, United.
Gibson. The crowd demand the introduction of Ji-sung Park. Here's Oh Kyung-jun.
There's a player lying down injured just outside the 18-yard line. That's why the boys kick the ball out.
Yeah, play's got to be stopped here. It's been quite a game, this then.
It's been very good, actually. It's been very good entertainment.
And you think United strikers Rooney, Makeda and Berbatov all on the score sheet?
Yep. Oh, we need now Park to come on and score.
Well, certainly, I think he will come on. He has got millions of fans in this country. Watch this ball again from Gibson.
And just the way he shrugged the full-back, Adilson off, and that's perfection. But I'll tell you, he's had to guide that into the back of the net. It's a terrific header, this. Look where the goalkeeper is. Terrific header.
Shrugged off Adilson.
He's such a good passer of the ball anyway, Darren Gibson. That's perfection. Well, should show a little bit of enthusiasm, shouldn't he?
He just finds it so easy, that's the thing. Just close-up of Ji-sung Park now on the big screens. And, I'm trying to think of who would get this sort of reaction in England. I can't really think of anybody.
Nope.
Well, we are going to see one of the top young talents in Korea, Ki Sung-young, come on as well. Crowd enthusiastic about him, but let's have a quick look at this free kick, which Kim Chi-woo is going to swing in. He swings it in dangerously as well. That's good defending.
Yeah, John O'Shea, good header.
Nani. Wes Brown thumps it clear. Owen chasing. Kim Han-yoon. Adilson. Kim Han-yoon. Adilson had to be quick. Kim with the clearance. Well, that was a bit clumsy from Evra. I think he got away with it though. Now Brown. Scholes. Now FC Seoul are about to bring on three more players. Poor old Paddy, honestly. Brown. Now Berbatov. Carrick's bursting through the middle. It's a terrific run. Michael Carrick. Can he get the shot off? Plays in Gibson. Miss hit it.
I might have taken a touch there, Darren.
Well, here come the changes. Park Young-ho is one of the players to come off. Ki Sung-young, number 21, is the man who is getting the screams here. Kim Han-yoon's going off as well. As is Jung. Keeping up with this, Paddy?
No.
So 3 changes there. And the big change that everyone wants to see now is Ji-sung Park coming off the last 20 minutes. Owen, what a good header. Berbatov. Gibson. Had an impact since coming on, Gibson. Carrick, nice flick that was to O'Shea. Ferdinand. O'Shea, always available down that right-hand side, but header is dealt with by Kim Chi-woo now. Ko Yo-han. Ki Sung-young. Good through ball. Finds Jong Jo-guk. Forced wide. That's actually good defending from Ever, who came right across.
Very good defending.
Came right across. Did his defensive duty. A little flick from Ki Sung-young. They like that here. Oh, that's another good challenge by Ever. Oh, he's given the free kick. He got the ball. I thought that was good defending from Patrice Evra. He did as well. The man who matters didn't.
Yeah, this is the challenge.
Got the ball first, I think, didn't he?
No, he didn't. He caught him. The harsh and the referee did catch him.
There's some reversal of roles here by you're saying he did catch him and I'm saying it was a good tackle. What's happening here? Free kick then. Dangerous position, this. There's the man who's going to be on in a minute. Now, is Kim Jin-kyu going to take this number 6, or could it be Ki Sung-young, 21? Good position for a shot, this. It is going to be Kim who steps over it. And Van der Sar behind that all the way. The effort from Ki Sung-young.
Good throw as well from Patricia, or rather from the goalkeeper.
Manny couldn't quite make the most of it.
Yeah, straight down the goalkeeper's throat, but he still has to hold on to it.
Well, the main man is going to be introduced in a minute, Ji-sung Park, along with Fabio Berbatov. Shea. Adilson will get his favourite there, at least, with Gibson, who shrugged off Adilson, remember, for the goal. He's done it again. Gibson. Owen!
Oh, dear me. Goalie saved it. That's a great ball in from Darren Gibson, but the goalie gets an important touch.
Stand by for an earthquake. Just the idol of Korean sport, Ji-sung Park, is coming on. They've been waiting for this all night, and now they get to see him for around 16, 17 minutes.
Yeah, Michael Carrick, the other one.
So off goes Michael Carrick. He's done a lot of running tonight. And Patrice Evra makes way as well for Fabio.
Here we go.
Here he comes. Wow, what a racket. Standing ovation. Well, quite amazing. United with the corner. But Nani takes down. The keeper's coming. And
good shout by the goalkeeper.
Yeah, got that one exactly right. Brown's header. First touch. Ji-sung Park. People screaming. People going hysterical. Well.
Yeah, he's fouled as it comes on. We only need him to score, Stuart.
Yeah.
He doesn't like sitting in the bench when Rooney, does he?
Absolutely idolised Ji-sung Park. Now Darren Gibson, who really has had an impact since coming on, skulls to Berbatov. Berbatov just floats away from trouble and finds Ji-sung Park. Park's ball in, it's a terrific one as well, but just beyond Nani at the far post and out for the throw. The captain of South Korea.
Yeah, just overhits the cross. Doesn't make any difference to the people here, does it?
No.
Still gets a cheer.
It must be a relief to him that he can wander around the centre of Manchester and people probably just leave him alone. If he tried that here in the centre of Seoul,
no,
dear me,
not possible. Good play.
Ball to Jong Jo-gook. Brown is there.
Good play and a poor cross.
Gibson. Now O'Shea. Where's Brown? Ahn Tae-yun. United looking good actually in these closing stages now.
That's a good ball as well.
Berbatov's after it. Berbatov does get there. Terrific skill, Berbatov. Dimitar Berbatov, what a tackle. That's great from Kim Jin-kyu on Berbatov.
Can you believe his touch let him down? Can you believe I'm saying that? Just a little bit heavy with his second touch. He pulls it down well here, but watch his touch here. Very, very heavy. Runs away from him.
Good defending though from Kim. Lovely chest down by Berbatov. United finishing strongly. Not a word that they've been given a test in this game. Nani to take then this corner kick. O'Shea's sprinting into the box. Brown's there. Ferdinand as well. Not sure the defender knew much about that. Just need to hit him, but Nani's won it back here.
Oh dear me. I don't know what he was thinking there.
That's where he can let himself down in those situations when you need a good final ball and a cool head. Fabio was tricked there.
Be careful, he's going to go down. No.
Thought he was going to dive in for a minute. Scholes. Rafael not with us on the talks of a slight knock. Nemanja Vidic will join us in Munich, as will Antonio Valencia. Gary Neville went home today because of a slight groin problem, which puts him out of the rest of the tour. Gibson to Fabio. Scholes. Fabio. Here's Nani. Looks to work an opening and he finds Paul Scholes.
Too tight in there. It's very, very tight.
Looking for Ji-sung Park. Adilson is up highest and clears. Berbatov back defending. Gets the touch. Ko Johan tried to go past him. But they are literally screaming for Ji-sung Park. Any footballers that you'd scream for, Paddy?
There was a few in my life I would have screamed, yeah. But not to this extent.
Ki Sung-young with a good-looking ball. Kept in by Woo Kyung-jun. Couldn't do enough with it. Brown will go back to Edwin van der Sar. O'Shea. That's all he could really do under those circumstances. Seoul looking for an equaliser that they will feel their play overall is deserved. Adilson to Kim Jin-kyu. Put on that great challenge on Berbatov. Worked terrifically hard, this FC Seoul side. Berbatov's after that, but Adilson was in the right position. Kim Chi-woo. Ki Sung-young. And Ko Johan. Park shrugs him off the ball. Oohs and ahs. Oh, they love that here. Now Michael Owen, fouled by Adilson. Free kick. Owen wants to take it quickly, but he's prevented from doing so. So John O'Shea just trundles forward. In the last 10 minutes now, United leading 3-2 in this entertaining friendly. You'd think a fourth goal would kill it off. Here's Scholes. Gibson. Back to Scholes. Good movement from Paul Scholes. Still he goes on, Paul Scholes. Bit of wrestling in there. Now, a break on here. Ki Sung-young. Got support up front from Jong Jo-gook. 3 red shirts to aim for. Ki Sung-young, one of them. But just too far in front of him out for the goal kick. Senol Gunes not too happy with that move. Now Berbatov. Here's Nani. Owen lurking inside the area. Good skill, still going.
Oh, he's still going. I thought he was going to hit it.
Adilson dived in there, had to get the ball, just about did. Ji-sung Park. Still he goes on, Ji-sung Park. Free kick. Referee said, hey, you can't tackle this man in Seoul.
No.
You've got to give a free kick.
Can't tackle him in Korea, never mind Seoul. I don't think he ever really catches control of it. It's bobbling and bouncing and all over the place. People making challenges, and maybe he's a bit lucky to get the free kick. He has a smile. It's the right place. I thought Darren Gibson might have hit this.
And Nani likes the look of it. John O'Shea. Surely John O'Shea's not going to take us. He walks away from it. Scholes can hit them. He's lurking, but looks like Nani fancies this. Can he take up Ronaldo's mantle as the free kick specialist? It is a great position. It is Nani. Oh dear.
Dear me. Well, we know them at times they're either superb or the complete opposite, and that was the complete opposite.
What is the opposite of superb?
I don't know. You're going to tell me, aren't you?
I'm trying to think of a word. He is behind the rest of the United squad for fitness, Ji-sung Park, because he hasn't been involved in the early part of pre-season because he had international football to play. Brown. Gibson. Brown. Fabio. Berbatov. Ko Yo-han. Lee Sang-hyup to Ko Yo-han again. Lee Sang-hyup, one of the many substitutes that Seoul have brought on. Ki Sung-young. Time running out for Seoul if they're going to rescue a draw from this game. 7 minutes to go. Plenty of possession, not really going anywhere with it here. Kim Ji-woo.
Well, it's not threatening, is it?
United reasonably happy for them to have it here, but this is better. Kim Ji-woo.
Well, he's going to try and get a cross in.
Well, want to cross with his left foot. He is left-footed, but has to go back up the line. Oh, it's no free kick. Jung Jo-guk. Didn't really get hold of it, Jung Jo-guk.
No power in the shot.
Korean international, born and bred in Seoul. Scores a few goals in the K-League, but didn't get hold of that one. Now here's Michael Owen at the other end for United, who's looking for Berbatov. Gibson, Ji-sung Park, they're on their feet again. Gibson. Scholes. Michael Owen. Paul Scholes. Ji-sung Park. Nani looking for Ji-sung Park. Didn't quite work. Remember, Seoul took the lead in this game and then went 2-1 up on the stroke of half-time. United looked up against it then, but they've come back strongly in this second half. Goals from Makeda, a terrific strike that was, and from Berbatov. It's a nice ball to Ko Yo-han. Danger here. Just blasted across the face of goal in the end from Lee Sang-hyup.
Well, Rio's done the right thing. He's just stood in front of him.
He lost his head a little bit there. Has that gone out for a throw? I think it has.
Yes, it has gone out for a throw, but just watch Rio. Rio stands in front of him. I'm not going to challenge you. You'll have to shoot. And he shoots badly.
Edwin, having a word with Wes Brown, just explaining the situation. Last 5 minutes here in the World Cup Stadium. As I say, there is a bit of silverware at stake here. Kumo Tires Cup, which is down on the touchline. It's given away. Now Ko-Johan again. He's looking for support. That's a bit short, I think. Yes, it is. Gibson. Berbatov. Michael Owen.
Good ball.
Finds Nani. No support in the centre at the moment for Nani. He might have to do this on his own.
Oh, that's a great ball, and just unfortunately, Darren Gibson was the only one that was in the box.
Adilson cleared. Well, it was a very inviting ball, this.
Yes, very inviting, but not enough players up there.
Corner kick United. Looking to completely round off this friendly. Ferdinand's in the box. Berbatov, of course, got terrific height. Keeper's underneath it. Oh, a little fumble there. Believe it or not, we are going to see 2 more Seoul substitutions, including a substitute goalkeeper for the last 3 minutes. Kim Chi-woo, wide to Ko-Johan. Quite an inviting ball in, but again, Ferdinand again with his positioning makes it all look
so easy, doesn't it?
Owen.
Nice, good early ball.
Looks for Berbatov. It's a really good ball as well.
Look at that for control.
As though he's got Velcro on his boot, just brings it down. Ji-sung Park. Oh, they're even applauding that.
No, he was trying to find Nani.
Struggle to keep that in. Does. Just about. Now the throw is given. So the last, well, surely it's the last couple of changes. You'd hope. Music is blaring as the goalkeeper comes off. So Zhao Wu Kang is in goal. And the other change, Sim Woo Yeon is about to come on, who is a giant, 6'5", the forward, who certainly will put himself about a bit. This fella's massive. He's the Peter Crouch of Korea. So that should be it, substitution-wise. We hope.
I've just given up, Stuart.
I thought you gave up at half-time, Paddy. I've never seen. That's the most confusing bit of paper I've ever seen on your team sheet. That needs to go in the Man United Museum. The most confusing team sheet I've ever seen. Here's O'Shea. Ji-sung Park. Got options in the box. Tries to get the return pass from John O'Shea. Last 90 seconds or so. Now sum up this tonight, Paddy.
I think it's been great entertainment. I think it's been a real good workout for United, that's for sure. Particularly coming from behind.
That's off Ji-sung Park for a throw to Seoul. Who've done themselves terrific credit in this game.
Yeah, without question. I think the manager will be very pleased. Because they've had to work hard, United.
They have. They came back strongly in the second half, but certainly the first half belonged to FC Seoul. Now, so a late twist in the tail heel. Nani tearing forward.
He's on his own. You'll have to.
Park's up with him. Can he play in Ji-sung Park? Where's he going here? Get the throw. Last minute, last few seconds. Paul Scholes. United just running the clock down here. Ji-sung Park, why not have a go? The crowd want you to. Scholes is in. Paul Scholes!
Oh! Hit the bar with it. He went for power.
Berbatov has it. Ji-sung Park. Oh, lovely. Back to Berbatov. Now Gibson.
Oh, just lost control of it.
Goal kick.
Yeah, that was a good bit of play that from United. Got the crowd on their feet.
He gave that an almighty crack, Paul Scholes.
Yeah, it's good football. This goes for power more than anything, Paul. I'm going to hit this as hard as I can, and it hits the top of the bar. Yeah, good ball through. Yeah, you expect Paul to put them away, but goes for power and it hits the crossbar.
Remains 3-2. We're in stoppage time now. This third game of the Asia Tour, and without question the best game of the Asia Tour so far. Adilson, I've been quite impressed with actually at the back, although Gibson definitely got the better of him for that Berbatov goal. Ki Sung-hyung. FC Seoul finished with a bit of a flourish. I haven't seen the fourth official's board, I have to say. We've had a minute of stoppage time. Sir Alex looked a bit happier now than he did at half time. A little way for the camera. Lee Sang-hyuk. Only half away. Jong Jo-guk. Oh, it's a good challenge from Fabio. Effort is Ki Sung-hyung straight at Van der Sar. He dealt with it comfortably enough.
Yeah, terrific strike, but it's straight at the goalkeeper. Not a problem for Van der Sar.
Scholes floats it out to Jisung Park. 2 minutes of stoppage time we've now played. Gibson, Scholes. And he's in here. Can he bring it down? Controlled it well, actually. Nani twisting, turning. Fabio looking for Berbatov. Adilson away, and as far as Scholes, man on here. Low ball through. Berbatov with Park. Berbatov again. Will it fall to Jisung Park? Yes, it will. Jisung Park. Still Jisung Park. They're desperate for him to shoot. They're desperate for him to score.
If he gets the ball, the final whistle's never going to go, Stuart.
Fabio now. I think we're going to keep playing until Jisung Park scores. Here he is in the box. Fabio. And his ball in. Berbatov's waiting at the far post. It's just taken away from him. Well, we've had 3 minutes of stoppage time now. I think it's in the contract that Jisung Park's got to score at some point. Ki Sung-hyung gets the ball back. Maybe one last chance here for FC Seoul. Jong Jo-guk, the giant Sim Wo-yeon waits inside the area. Ki Sung-hyung. Oh, that's well worked. Lee Sang-hyuk, dangerous ball in. He's a giant Sim Wo-yeon. Again, it's flicked back into the danger zone, but
I think that's a corner, is it?
Well, he lets it go out of play. There's Sim Wo-yeon, but
Paul Scholes at corner.
We have played 94 minutes now.
You know, the crowd are enjoying themselves, aren't they?
They are. This was Jisung Park trying his best.
Terrific skill, trying to create an opening for a shot, which never came.
Seoul then have the corner, looking to make it 3-3 right at the end. Headed away. Not sure where the referee's getting this time from now. That's optimistic. Goodness me. Goal kick. Ko Yo-han with an effort which was always sailing over the top. It must be a surreal experience for Sir Alex to come to an away game and be cheered. It must be very strange. Well, I think something's happened to the referee's watch here, because we've basically played 50 minutes.
But don't forget, made God knows how many substitutions. I lost count.
Actually, if you had 30 seconds per substitution, we'd still be playing at midnight. There's Adilson. That's it. The end of a terrific pre-season friendly at the World Cup Stadium. United coming from behind twice to win by 3 goals to 2. Dejan scored twice in that first half for FC Seoul, separated by a Wayne Rooney header. United behind at the break, but in the second half they took charge. Great goal from Makeda after he's played in by Rooney, and then Dimitar Berbatov with a header from Gibson's cross. The crowd really enjoyed seeing Jisung Park for the last 15 minutes or so. All in all, a terrific workout and a really competitive game for United. They've come through unscathed. It's finished FC Seoul 2, Manchester United 3.
Thanks very much, Stuart. Yeah, great pre-season friendly here on MUTV. United were trailing at the break, but thankfully they got it back to win 3-2 in the Kumho Tires Cup they're playing for today. Time for us to take a short break. We'll be back with analysis and taking your calls and emails after this break. So welcome back to the Asia Tour Live. Gary Pallister joins me in the studio and we'll be taking your calls and emails over the course of the next hour. So make sure you get in touch with us. 0845 602 6899 is the number, or you can email mutv@mutv.com. We'd love to hear your thoughts on today's game and, of course, anything else you'd like to ask Gary about today. So, that was better, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of substitutions, obviously, in the second half disrupts things, but certainly controlled it. Probably could have scored more goals. But yeah, in terms of that creating things, we were much better in the second half. And once Dejan, I think, went off, they were less of a threat, obviously.
I think Park got the biggest cheer, even though he didn't score a goal today as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, that's great to see it. You know, I think he was almost embarrassed when he sat on the bench there, and the cheers are coming every time they showed his face on the big screen. But that just shows you what they think about him over there. It's great as a player to get that kind of reaction from a crowd. So I'm sure he enjoyed the whole experience.
We're looking for them to provide a bigger test for United today, because we were saying beforehand that's what it's all about building up your fitness and getting a little bit more of a test. I think they proved that today. They gave us a bit of a test, didn't they?
They did. I mean, the first half was a very good half of football. It was end-to-end stuff. They did have the better of it. I think they had the better chances. Obviously, they scored that second goal right on the stroke of half-time. And then Dejan had a player who made things happen whenever he got on the ball. And, you know, he was a thorn in the side. And I'm sure the defenders were glad when he went off, because he was playing in that little role between the midfield and the attack, and he caused us a few problems. Second half, he went off early into that half, and you know, with that, I think went their most potent threat. And we sort of brought on Scholesy, Berbatov, Nani, and you know, we started to get a firm grip of things and played the game at our own tempo.
Let's take a look at the thorn in United's side today. As Carrie said, Dejan, who got the first goal today. Yeah,
I mean, that's all about the cross, really. He gets on the end of it and he does steer it in well, Dejan, but the cross really makes the goal. It's you know, the goalkeeper doesn't know where to come for it. The defender's looking for the goalkeeper, not sure whether to go for it themselves. And it's just a fantastic cross. As I say, well steered in by Dejan as well. With that, I think it's with the outside of his foot. But the cross is really what the goal's all about.
Yeah, he certainly proved to be tricky for United to cope with today, that's for sure. And got the first goal, but it improved after that, thankfully. And as you say, once he went off, it was certainly a lot better for United.
I mean, but you see the cross there. You freeze that before the cross comes in, and you think you're comfortable. I think it's Wes and John O'Shea have got him in between them. Nobody's actually got touch tight to him. That's where the goal actually comes from. But as you freeze the frame before the cross comes in, you're thinking, well, we're comfortable, 2 against 1. He really shouldn't be getting on the end of that. But the cross is such good quality that it gives him an opportunity to get on the end of it, and that's what he did.
Wayne Rooney got the next opportunity. He made it 1-0 after 30 minutes.
Yeah, again, it's another good cross, this time by John O'Shea. Gets a bit of room on the right, takes it down, puts a good cross in, and you know, what we think is an excellent header from Wayne. We see later on in the replays it's come off his shoulder. He's obviously looking to guide it in that direction, but he hasn't got the connection he wants.
Just not as tall as he thought he was.
Maybe so, yeah. Yeah, a little bit fortunate. But the cross is good. Defender's not great there from Seoul, I don't think. But I think he is trying to. You can see where he's trying to guide it to. And instead of coming off his head, it comes off his shoulder. So a little bit fortunate, but I think you take it, don't you?
Second goal of pre-season for Wayne Rooney as well. He'll be pleased with that one.
Well, yeah, I mean, a lot of people are looking at Wayne now this year, now that Ronnie's left to Real Madrid, and looking at Wayne maybe to help replace the goals that we're going to miss from Ronaldo. You know, hopefully he'll get the chance to play in his favoured position more often than not. And if he does that, you know, I think he will score the goals. He seems to score in gluts. Doesn't seem to be like consistent maybe as Ronaldo does, but maybe that might change if he's going to get a firm run, sort of playing off a striker or just playing straight through the middle.
Let's hope so. Take a look at the second goal for FC Seoul. Once again, Dejan after 46 minutes, just before half time this was.
Yeah, I mean, Patrice sleeps in a bit there. He's not aware that Dejan's behind him. Maybe a shout for offside. I think personally he might have just been on. But whatever the case may be there, it's a very cool finish by Dejan. And again, you know, as we said, he's impressed. In the 60 minutes he was on the pitch, he was a constant threat. and he gets the benefit of the doubt there. Maybe level, and if you level, you're on. But it's the coolness there that, you know, Cusack's looking to slip the ball under him or to the side of him, and he just gives it a little dink and clips over the top of him, and keepers hate that. you know, because they think they've got all the bases covered, and he goes and does something as cheeky as that. So, but that's a mark of the quality that he had today and the performance that he put in.
Just shows you their league certainly is improving, that's for sure. So to Man United it was in the second half to take the initiative, and that's exactly what they did through Kiko Makeda.
Yeah, I think Wayne gets on the ball here, and that's just a great little clip through, and he's still got quite a bit to do to round the keeper. He does that nonchalantly, and finishes off with a plum. So I don't know what the celebration was all about. I don't know whether he couldn't hear the fans, or he was sick of them shouting for Ji-sung Park. He wanted to hear his name shouted a bit more. I don't know, but yeah, cool finish. Again, impressive from the lad again today. At times I thought his final ball lacked a bit, but he's a threat. And he's only going to get better. He's a very young man, still learning his trade, but making an impact at a club like United speaks volumes for the kid.
17 years old, as the manager said, he's checking his birth certificate, as I said at half time.
Well, I'm sure he did. You know,
he's strong and he's broad,
yeah.
Isn't he? And he's only going to get bigger as he gets older.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. You know, I mean, we said the same thing about Wayne Rooney when he came here. I mean, he was, you know, I mean, he was a boy playing in a man's body, and you know, what a fantastic acquisition he's proven to be. Let's hope Makeda can follow in his footsteps, because as you say, at that age, to have that kind of physical prowess that he's got, well, is only going to help him as he develops his career at such a young age.
Academy at the start of last season, into the first team in this season. OK, let's take a look at the third goal. Berbatov made it 3-2 for Manchester United today.
Yep, I mean, this is all about Gibson. Gets the ball there. Just body strength. I mean, he's a solid lad, and that's a great pick out. It's a terrific ball. He hasn't just knocked it in aimlessly. He's seen Berber there, put it on his head, and they said, right, you know, he's still got a little bit of work to do. Manages to put it back across the goalkeeper into the corner of the net. He celebrates with his usual excitement, and we go 3-2. But it's a great little header. Great strength from Danny Gibson. Great pick out.
Trying to pounce on it as well.
Well, yeah, I'm sure he was desperate. I mean, he nearly got on the end of something later on, but we know all about Danny Gibson. He's a good passer of the ball, and that's a great pick. That's good body strength. Just shrugs the lad off, and then what a great little thing that is to put it on top of Berber's head.
We were talking about how important it is for him to have a pre-season. Be interesting to see what he can do this year, because he's been talking, as well as talking about how it's like Beatlemania out there, he's been saying that he hopes to make a better impression this year. He didn't feel he performed to his best last year either.
Listen, I think we saw parts of Berber's game last year that we all know he's capable of. He's not going to be the most energetic of players. That's his style. He's got a language style, and that's what, you know, people beat him up about. And that's not what the manager brought him here for. Eric Cantona wasn't, you know, somebody who chased like Carlos Tevez did around the pitch trying to tackle people. That's Berber's style as well. And there's pressure from outside influences, I think, because as I said before, as the way he left Tottenham, and he also got the backup. He seems to have got the backup of the press, the national press, and they want to see him fail. And if things don't go perfectly for him, they're ready to knock him down. I think I said for a long time I'd love to have seen him in a United shirt. I think there's more to come from him now that he's settled. He's got the pre-season behind him, and I think he'll score goals and create plenty as well.
Big season for Dimitar Berbatov and for many players in that Manchester United side. Well, Dejan was on for a hat-trick, but he was taken off shortly after this.
You think this is the reason why? Is this the one he blurs? Is this just the Wayne Rooney shot from the first half?
No, this is Dejan.
That could have only been row Y, that one, but yeah, he got the hook shortly afterwards. But
not going to get a hat-trick today against United, matey.
No. I don't think that reflected on his performance, because he did produce some terrific little moments in the game, and he was a standout player certainly in the first half.
You mentioned Darren Gibson doing well for a couple of the other opportunities that we had. He had a chance, unfortunately for him it went wide, but another good chance for United.
Yeah, I mean, they certainly bossed the game in the second half and got lots of possession in and around the box. He's a good striker of the ball, Darren Gibson, and he'd be disappointed with that. I know the defender came across to put him under a little bit of pressure, but as the ball was rolling, I'm sure he fancied to get it on target, and he just pulled across the ball and dragged it wide. But Again, he's got half an hour under there, and I think he's impressed the manager again.
There weren't many chances from FC Seoul in the second half, but this was one of the late ones. After 72 minutes, a free kick from there.
Yeah, I mean, that's Van der Sar. We saw Kuszak save a pair of hands in the first half. Balls, we're coming through a glut of players. He's managed to not just palm away, but he managed to keep hold of. That's what Edwin done there. Very comfortable save for him, and he's aware enough to get up straight away and launch another attack for United. And it is going to be an interesting battle this year. I don't know whether it's going to be Edwin's last year or not. Obviously, Ben is starting to put a bit of pressure on it to become the number one. Kuszak will also be wanting to get involved in the mix somewhere. So it'll be interesting to see how that pans out this year. I always say it's great to have competition for places. It keeps you on your toes. I'm sure Edwin will start the season, but he's under pressure from Ben.
We shall see. The final chance we're going to show you from today's game fell to Paul Scholes, and he'll be disappointed. We thought this one was going in, didn't we?
Yeah, I mean, it was when it eventually comes through to Scholes. I think it is on his weaker foot, but he is a terrific striker of the ball. Keeper's got the angles narrowed down, and he goes for power, and unfortunately he catches the post. And you see how tiring it is for Scholes. He's only made a 15-yard run there, and he's really puffing. That's because of the heat that's out there, and he'll be disappointed. He'll want to get on the score sheet. He's only had half an hour today, but that's what Scholes is all about, isn't it? Arriving late in the box and getting strikes on target. It's something that's been natural for him throughout the years, and it still is now.
OK, time for us to go to the phones. It is your chance to say what you thought about today's game or anything else you want to ask Mr. Pallister this afternoon. We can go to Michael, who's in Malta. Hi there, Michael.
Hi, Mandy. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Michael.
There.
Hi there. I don't want to sound negative because it's only pre-season and all, and I'm really looking forward to this year. But I remember I was in Rome for the final. I mean, a nightmare, obviously. But I remember saying then that we definitely needed to strengthen in midfield. We needed somebody dynamic, somebody who could win the ball back when we didn't have it. And I know we didn't play against great teams and our fitness is not up there right now. But we conceded 4 goals in 3 games, and stupid goals, really. Don't you think that maybe we need somebody in front of the defence who can win back the ball and release some of the pressure from our defence? I don't know what Gary thinks about that.
Well, we've got Owen Hargreaves coming back, haven't we? I think it's going to be September they're talking about when he comes in. That's the job that he can fit into perfectly. He's got the energy, he's got the experience, and I think when the manager did buy him, I think that was one of the reasons for him to play in that role, especially in Europe. We have been missing that at times. I know Carrick's played in that role, a different type of player to what Owen Hargreaves is, but I'm sure the manager's looking at if he can get a fully fit Owen back in September, that'll answer that problem. I agree with what you're saying, especially over there in Rome against Barcelona. We never really got to grips with their midfield in terms of winning the ball back. They played at their own tempo, never really got flustered by us when they were on the ball. And I'm sure that the manager's hoping that Owen does come back as good a player he was before he had the operations, because he's got, as I say, he's got the experience, he's got the energy levels, and he can fit into that role without a problem.
OK, Michael, thanks very much for your call. We'll be taking a lot more of your calls and emails and getting some post-match reaction after this short break.
First time from Giggs, Scholes! Is it going to go in? It is! On his 500th game for Manchester United, Paul Scholes scores against Liverpool.